simply known as HATS. My name is Yasir Hassan, and I'm from IBM Rational HATS team. And with me, I have my teammates Asif Hussain and Kareem Wasili. In this webinar, we will talk about what is responsive web design or RWD, how it is better than the contemporary HATS solution available, and how it can be translated in terms of the bottom line, that is return on investment. And that goes without saying that it is the most important aspect for any organization to sustain, survive, and grow. Let us start with the agenda. We will start off with a brief introduction about us, that is Royal Cyber. Next, we will touch upon IBM Rational HATS tool. We will move on with exploring what is responsive web design or RWD. Then we will ask the very important question, why we need to adopt responsive web design. In the next section, we will discuss the impact of RWD HATS combination on your business. We will conclude the webinar. So let us start with the introduction to Royal Cyber. Royal Cyber Software Development. We are IBM Premier Business Partners. We are also IBM Authorized Trainers, and furthermore, we are Microsoft Certified Gold Partners. Since the company's inception in providing training and consultancy of IBM Rational, WebSphere, Tivoli, Lotus, Cognos, and many Microsoft family solutions to businesses worldwide, including many Fortune 500 companies. We are headquartered in Chicago, Illinois, and we have a global footprint across the globe with offices and development center across North America, Europe, Africa, Middle East. As you can see in the slide, that we have office in Canada, UK, Adelaide, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, India, to name a few. As mentioned, Microsoft Certified Gold Partners. Here is our brand portfolio at a glance. As you can see that we have covered all the possible bases that you need from a software development company like Royal Cyber. We have solutions ranging from enterprise modernization to database servers to portals to e-commerce based solution, Microsoft family solution, middleware, rational tools, and you can see the slide. This is our a snapshot of our client base. Our original clientele is way larger than the ones shown on this slide. However, the idea that we want to communicate is the diversity in our client base. Like A1 is a major insurance provider. Apple Vacations are, they deal in end-to-end travel planning. Abdul Latif Jameel is a KSA-based IT consulting firm. So you can see that, how diverse our client base is. Now let us discuss IBM Rational Host Access Transformation Service, or HATS. Rational HATS is a premier IBM product suite that is the best tool for presenting old green screen applications built on legacy IBM IZ servers in modernized manner, and it performs this transformation very quickly and of course efficiently. Once HATS modernize the legacy green screen based application, the output can be prepared for various mediums. And the best thing is that you don't need to make any changes in the existing applications. So the matured environment that is running for like past 30 years, 40 years, 20 years, it stays at the back end, and it ensures that business continuation or stability is there. There is no need to migrate any data with HATS implementation. So the basic idea is that the things on back end, they keep on working the way they were working for decades, and the benefit is that the end user, they get the modernized view, the one that we are used to these days. And we all know that it's very hard to train people on old obsolete technologies. So moving to HATS permits new resources to come on board quickly, and it is easy to find resources for modern technologies as compared to the legacy technologies. HATS does not only display the content of green screen application on the modernized interface. There are so many things that HATS can do, like modernizing green screen per the recent UI standards, using macros. You can apply customization and other techniques to show green screen data in organized and friendly manner. Advanced controls and widgets can also be used, which were naturally absent in the green screen because technology of that time was not advanced enough to accommodate to such features. HATS can also be used for creating mobile version for specific devices. This is the overall development process where when you use HATS. Like any application we create these days, a HATS application is created on a modern IDE, which is Eclipse in our case. The HATS application is deployed on WebSphere application server, or was more commonly known as WAS. I mean, we have demonstrated WAS only, but HATS 8.5 also provides support to Geronimo. And we had conducted a webinar on this support last month, so you can see archival section of our website to go through that webinar as well. So during the design and the actual development, developers always have the green screen in front of them, as the basic idea of HATS is to modernize the legacy application. Now when the end user accesses the application via his or her system, WAS becomes responsible for showing the modernized view to the end user, and at the same time it act like picking and providing data to green screen, running web services, and providing data to wherever required. Now you can see here that the development environment is not very complex, it's very user friendly, and people who are into development, they don't need to be informed that this is a modernized interface with all the perspective views and everything. So HATS has vast accessibility options. Data from legacy servers like System I and System Z can be used at various places as demonstrated in this slide. Data, once processed by HATS, can be deployed for web applications, rich clients, portals, and mobile devices. Web services can also be created to allow communication between multiple systems. HATS can not only generate the web services, but it can also consume the web services. Here of modernization that interface improvement can be seen in this slide. Non-user friendly buttons, widgets, and controls. Now here you can see that by applying macro-based approach of HATS, multiple screens are mapped to one modernized screen. So using user at the end of the day see only one screen but many screens. As you can see in the slide that logic required traversing through it eventually only views one screen. So it makes the whole process time friendly, and user friendly. Okay, with dynamic menus built in HATS, it user role and race-based menu options. Okay, dynamic graphs. So for executives and higher management, quick and easy to read graph for decision making are really helpful. With HATS, the flat numerical data, it can be transformed into charts and graphs easily. It's very hard to read and understand the trend analysis in the numerical or tabular form, but it's a different story altogether when the same data is presented in the form of charts or graph. So, anyone can just, at a glance identify that trend that is going on. So we have only demonstrated the line chart here, but HATS support various other graphs type like bar chart, column chart, pie chart. HATS can also generate mobile version of the green screen application. We're not going into too much details of the mobile implementation on this slide because RWD is generally associated with mobiles, and rest of the webinar is based on the idea of the combination of RWD and HATS. So we will explore this option further in our upcoming slides. So here you can see that HATS support many mobile devices. HATS solution efficiently provides support for many platform devices, browser and gadgets. With programming tweaks, especially in CSS, each can be accommodated. You can see in the slide that various operating system, browser and gadgets can be supported with HATS tools. This is the overall architecture of HATS implementation, where the mainframe server is used for the green screen application. The HATS application is deployed on the WAS application server, and then it can be used on various platforms, browser devices via HTTP protocol, web services. Okay, so let me remind you that this webinar only covers the RWD part in HATS, which obviously is one of the HATS feature. It's not the HATS. So listed on the screens are few of our training session detail. A 2-day long workshop where you will learn the HATS development from scratch. Other than that, we offer online and on-site instructor-led trainings. The curriculum for the workshop is fixed, but for the ILT sessions, instructor-led sessions, we can have customized curriculum according to your requirements as well. We will share the URL for each in the chat box later on, and you will also get it in your thank you email. So now let's discuss that what exactly is responsive web design. Responsive web design, or RWD, it's a web design approach aimed at crafting sites to provide an optimal viewing experience, easy reading and navigation with minimum of resizing, paneling and scrolling. And when it comes to scrolling, generally we don't mind the vertical scroll, but horizontal scroll is mostly avoided. So basically it is done across a wide range of devices, from mobile phones to desktop computer monitor. As I told you that it is generally associated with mobile devices, but a good RWD designs cater to the computer monitors, the laptops, and the whole range, whole ecosystem of the devices that can be used to view content. And images, grids, and overall content is shown in proportion based grids. So if the if your viewing screen is small, the image will appear uh, according to that proportion. If the screen is large, the image will be expanded, and so on and so forth. So basically, the idea is that we cannot ask the world to stop or accommodate for us. So the underlying axiom is that change is the only constant. So we need to be responsive, proactive in our approach to cater the problem. So responsive web design definitely helps us in achieving that. So you can see in this table that there are various challenges when we talk about mobile devices. There are many variations you may encounter across different platforms, but roughly factors like screen size, entry, the medium of entry, like keyboard is allowed, mouse is allowed, keypad is allowed, or touch screen is allowed, and limitations in the available memory in mobile devices. This is also a big challenge. So, another big variation is the screen orientation. Like if you're viewing the data on landscape, it should appear differently. If the same data is being viewed on portrait, it should appear differently. So basically, this is what we want to achieve. From the misplaced content with no or less care of viewing experience to the appropriate content according to the viewing medium. And the main idea is always to display content appropriately with respect to the screen size and the orientation. I'm not saying that RWD is totally about this, but these two are arguably the most important factor that needs to be considered when you are going for RWD based approach. So with that, I hand over to Asif Hussain to take the webinar further. Thank you, Yasser. One may ask, if HATS provide mobile support, then what is the problem in handling mobile devices and other platforms? The answer lies in the upcoming slides, where we will discuss the problems with the conventional approaches to go mobile with HATS. Before that, I would like to discuss a little about the importance of this medium or these devices. You can see here in the computing trend since the 1960s, and you can notice by 2015-16, mobile devices are anticipated to be the market leaders. Here in another graph, it is evident that considering the current growth patterns by 2015, mobile users will overtake the desktop, laptop user base. The way things are going, this transformation is expected to be faster, not slower than the pattern shown in the graph. 25% of users in America choose not to browse internet in traditional manner, that is with laptops and desktops. So people are so reliant on smartphones that on average they check their phones more than 150 times per day. Here in another graph, it is evident that considering the current growth pattern, by 2015 mobile users will overtake the desktop laptop users. So we have multiple sources, multiple surveys to generate this sort of information. There may be variations here and there, but roughly speaking, the current ecosystem of the communication comprises of entities under these three heads: legacy systems and their modernized versions, of course,
platforms from desktop laptops to mobile gadgets, PDAs, and tablets. And finally, the social media integration like Facebook, Twitter, and other such portals. It is important for the companies or professionals to keep all the aspects of this ecosystem in mind to come up with solutions bigger in horizon and covering maximum audience to get the best ROI. So let's discuss a conventional solution. There comes our biggest challenge in order to provide support to multiple mobile devices. Is it necessary to write, manage, and maintain separate piece of code for different device versions? What if there is a new device gaining popularity in the masses? For instance, the recent growth of Android applications in competition with the then market leader iPhone or BlackBerry. So the innovation will always be there with from the hardware side, and new devices will keep on coming. And new device sizes, new device screen sizes will also keep coming. So what we need to do here? Is it necessary to write separate dedicated mobile apps to make the green screen viewable on different mobile devices? Keep in mind, separate applications will have to be written for each store. Here is a million-dollar question, literally. With ever-increasing variable factors in its, is it financially and technically feasible to create separate versions for each factor? To understand the intensity of the problem, just consider this. We have a minor release every month for Firefox and Chrome only. Where will the vicious cycle of keep on updating our solution to make it universal, to be accessible seamlessly across the board stop? Will it ever stop? And that's not the only problem. There are so many challenges both at macro and micro level. Like budget will always go out of hand for maintaining multiple codes. Maintenance is also another challenge. Content management is another challenge. Imagine a company with constant data change like Walmart trying to keep their content consistent across the board. There are so many questions and apparently no answers. Or is there an answer? Let's see. Friedrich Nietzsche said it's a jungle out there and it is all about survival of the fittest. Fittest is not the powerful one. Otherwise, we would be sharing the dear earth with dinosaurs. Yes, it's the species like cockroaches, lizards that survive the continental drifts and ice ages. You know the reason? It's not the physical strength. It's the adaptability to change according to the changes in the environment. There are many examples of how in nature species use different techniques in order to increase their chances of survival. Chameleons, spiders, many sea creatures use camouflage to attain food and protect themselves from predators. Enough with evolution. Coming back to our original problem of making our applications viewable across multiple devices by remaining in our budget with minimum duplication of efforts, our answer lies in the responsive web design. Adopting this golden strategy, we make applications adaptable according to the medium it is being viewed on, rather than anticipating device, OS, and platforms to support it. Remember the golden words, responsive web design. The solution remains the same, that is implementing via rational HATS. However, By making few changes in the design, one code is written to make application responsive to the viewing medium. For end user, it is all seamless. They don't know, neither they need to know the difference in approach. Simple techniques like anticipating different screen sizes and adjusting the content accordingly, making images scalable per the viewing screen, adjustment to cater portrait and landscape views can prevent from making multiple code bases and need to store and manage content at multiple places. As mentioned earlier, the responsive web design caters to variation in landscape and portrait mode across devices, so it displays the content accordingly. So here is our solution in a nutshell. IBM HATS implemented through rational IBM HATS implemented through this RWD, the responsive web design approach. Now the journey of green screen application to the latest devices does not involve multiple layers in between. Write once, use it everywhere. It is not mandatory that technically a good solution must also be business efficient. Like it or not, at the end of the day, it's the numbers that matter. So let's see how good or bad HATS using RWD approach is. The top business advantage RWD brings is the reduction of development cost. As there is only one application, so there is a drastic shrinkage in the development budgets. So we are good so far. Obviously, as there is only one application to maintain, there is no duplication of code. So support or maintenance cost also goes down significantly. To make application accessible online, there is no need to host it at multiple places. One hosting is enough to make the application accessible globally. This is another plus. Just like the code, there is no need to duplicate the content at various places. So all the content or business logic is at one place and is sufficient for the global access from all the devices. Generally, device users have to make adjustment according to their feasibility in normal systems. But the smarter RWD design caters to this automatically. Finally, the RWD design is recommended by Google as well. It goes without saying that being consistent with Google brings in possible SEO improvement. So summarizing all the benefits, we can safely say that coding once and using it everywhere can be translated to the bottom line of achieving maximum return on investment. Because the market is changing today, people are coming using more mobile devices, more advanced devices, and the applications that are not able to handle this will automatically diminish their scope and their usability. So the need of the time is to improve and to modernize the technology to make it capable, make it accessible from mobile devices. Rational HATS and RWD are not something specific to Royal Cyber. So you may ask, why Royal Cyber should be selected to design such a solution? The answer is very simple. We are IBM tool specialists and have solid expertise over IBM suite, including HATS. We have more than 15 years experience of successfully implementing and satisfying client base on the similar solutions like this one. Due to global presence and expertise, we have the capability to provide quickest yet efficient solution with round-the-clock availability for support. We keep on learning the tools ourselves and work closely with IBM on beta releases. Our people are undoubtedly our biggest strength. With around 500,000 consultants, you can consider yourself to be in the safest hands. Our portfolio provides end-to-end solutions, so you can get one window operation under the same roof. We have experts for enterprise modernization, WebSphere solutions, rational project lifecycle management solutions, databases, mainframes, business analysis, QA, and designing. Finally, let us brief you on some of our expertise on the HATS tools. Beside off-the-shelf features of HATS from our years-long experience, we have created some artifacts that can add a lot of value to the overall solution. But these require some custom development on top of the solution. You can see some of such features in this list. Now let's show you a demo of HATS application where we have applied RWD. For this, I would call our rational HATS RWD expert, Kareem Vasili. Sorry for the technical glitch we had. I would like to ask Kareem to continue from his demo that we were announcing when the sound went off.
Thank you, Asif. Let me start with the demonstration of HATS application.
where we have applied responsive web design in our implementations. Here you can see the login page. The login page as it normally appears in the browsers. Now I will let you show you how it's appearing appropriately in various mediums. It's loading the, yes, it has loaded our application. Please see that our application is now loaded. You can see that it's working accordingly to each and every medium. I hope you can see the demo. I will again repeat my words. Here you can see how it's normally appearing. Our demo on HATS is normally appearing in the browsers. It's a login page of our HATS application. Now I will let you show how it works in the responsively in different applications. Here is a website, responsivenator.com, and I have accessed my my application by typing my application URL here in this box. It's loaded now, and it's working very much fine. It's according to each and every sizes. It fits according to each and every portrait as well as landscape. It's 320 pixels as well as 480 pixels. Let me log in it. Now you can see that it's logged, and everything is coming in best view. Here is a normal view. Let me log in here also. Here the images are big, the menu is different, the sub-menu is different, everything is different here. But in the responsive, as it's responsive, so it will be viewing differently in mobile applications, in portrait view as well. Let me show you in portrait view as well. Here you can see the sub-menu is reacting like according to the I will further conclude the baton to Yasir Hassan to conclude the webinar.
Thank you, Kareem. With this, we conclude our session. Thank you very much for your attendance. We are open for any question. You can type your questions related to HATS, RWD, the RWD and HATS combination, and we will be glad to provide you the answers. Other than that, you can also send us your queries by email, simply replying to the invitation email that you had got. So we are open for questions. You can type in your questions in the chat window. Okay, we are taking in questions, and once all the questions are collected, we will answer all of those, one after another. Okay, one of the questions that we have got is that the person has missed the webinar and they have joined a bit late. So, there's no need to worry. On the same link on our website, you will get the recording of the entire session. So the first question that we have got is RWD always good? Well, most of the time it is good. I mean, in 95% of scenarios, if we want to put a figure to it, so it is good. But there are very few scenarios where RWD can be an overkill. For example, just last year we did a project with the Canadian company where it was a pharmaceutical, so all their employees were given a special handheld device to capture data from doctors, patients and all. So as the entire staff base was using the same device, so I mean it would be an overkill for them to go for RWD. They could have gone for the HATS version for that very device. Okay, so next question is? So the next question is, does HATS provide inbuilt or built-in RWD support? So the answer is no. I mean, HATS does provide mobile support, so you can write code for specific mobile devices, but to make it consistent as far as RWD is concerned, you have to make it work by applying certain design techniques. Okay, so another very interesting question that if we apply RWD, does it affect the performance of applications by any means? The answer is theoretically yes. I mean, if an application is non-RWD, so it should perform theoretically better. But let me tell you that with our experience, we can assure you that RWD, if it does degrade the performance, it's negligible. I mean, you cannot find major difference between an RWD site and a non-RWD site. So even if the performance difference that is theoretical is there, it's negligible. So if your performance is your issue there, but still you can go for the RWD based approach. Okay, so the next question is that how much impact is there if if there is an average HATS project and if there is a HATS project with where you have to provide RWD support. So with impact, I guess you want to you mean that on the timelines. So I think I can also provide you answer, but Asif Hussain, he's our project manager, and he has been involved in the project where he managed the HATS team. So he's the best answer. You can listen straight from the horse mouth, and his opinion would be more valuable. So for this question, I hand over to Asif.
Thank you again, Yasir. As far as timelines are concerned and compared between a simple HATS project and a project with RWD in HATS, that depends on a number of factors. Like if a project is best to be made with the default rendering approach in HATS, this can be because of the size of the system and uniformity of the screens in the system. When default rendering is the best approach to go, in that case, it is very difficult to go for responsive web design based website because with responsive web based design websites, web systems based on HATS can be developed best with customized approach. So when a system is to be made with customized screens using HATS, roughly it will take around double the time in developing a customization of a screen if we will consider it to take it to responsive web design. So if to summarize this, I would say that for a HATS system made with customized screens, it will double the time, and for a system that should be made with default rendering, we should not go for responsive. We have another question, like is a normal HATS developer capable of handling a responsive HATS project independently, or does he need a designer or specific designer for that? The answer is that we need a designer who's capable of handling responsive designing, and with his help, we also need a HATS developer to integrate to use that stuff designed by the web designer in the manner that is required by HATS. So we need an expert HATS developer and an expert designer who is capable of designing responsive web pages. With this, we conclude our session. Thank you very much for your attendance. So this is it from our side. Once again, thank you very much for your participation. We hope you enjoyed the session and found it educational and interesting. Hope to see you again. Bye. Please feel free to contact us for the queries. You can get 40 hours of consultancy free of cost from us for any kind of modernization. And let me remind you again about our HATS training programs. Stay tuned with us for more training and webinars. Thank you very much for your participation. Goodbye from all of us. Hope to see you again. Thank you.